Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to another video on Starseed Academy. My name is Jenny. So today I want to talk about empath magic because empaths too often get stuck in receiving mode and they're just receiving all of this stimulation, all of this information all the time. And of course that can be overwhelming, draining, all of those things. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, but mostly what I want to share with you today is how to turn that around and go from receiving mode to sending mode. Because you have a really special ability as an empath to use that feeling energy and to send it outwards. And there's a lot that you can do with it once you do. Just stick around because we're going to talk about that. If you're an empath, this video is for you. You need this, trust me. I'm going to share with you some personal tips and tricks and this very super cool magical ability that maybe you don't realize you have. So before we dive into the empath magic, please remember to like this video, give it a thumbs up, share this video, and then make sure you're subscribed for new videos on this channel every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Okay, so let's jump right in. So the first thing that I want to cover is what we said earlier. Empaths are either overwhelmed, like overstimulated, or they're really drained. So let's just quickly touch on those 2 points because if you're an empath, you need a bit of a refresher in this. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, then you are not protecting yourself, energetically speaking, from the overload of sensations and informations when you're out in the world, right? So this can happen in any way. Like you could literally just be going grocery shopping and just the amount of people, the crowds, I mean, everyone's having all their own thoughts, emotions, feelings, physical ailments, sensations. If you're a very powerful empath, very turned on, you're going to feel everyone and everything to the point where you might even feel the energy of, like, let's use the grocery store example still. You're walking down the aisles, you could be feeling the energy of the packaging from where it came from. That's how sensitive some of you are. Some of us are. Like if it's coming from a factory where they don't treat their workers very well, maybe it's a really bad place in the world. Maybe there's a lot of injustice. Maybe there's almost like, I don't know, like slave labor vibes, something like a bad place, or the farm that the food is coming from. You're going to feel all of that. It's not just other people. It's all energy all the time. So you can see why it would be easy to be overwhelmed, even in your own home, right? With just the things, your own things. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy to think about. So please take these tips to heart. So the first one that I want to talk about is the energetic egg or bubble or pyramid that you can place around yourself. Whatever shape works for you, but here's some real tips about this. Because I know you've heard it before. People say just place a bubble of energy around yourself and everything's good to go. Well, what does that even mean? How do you do that, right? So of course, this is a lot about visualization, but it's also intention, because as soon as you have the intention to do it, it starts to happen. And then if you add in visualization and trying to feel it there, it really puts that bubble into place. But what I find really helpful is to choose the proper color. So if you're visualizing a pink light bubble or a pink energetic bubble, pink is the frequency of love. It's like the rose quartz stone. So that would filter everything that came towards you. It would go through the filter of love. So you would still receive the information, but it would be gentler. It would be more loving. It would be easier to digest, but you would still receive it. It just softens it, okay? So you'll know if that's what you need intuitively. And then the next color is white light. So if you're doing a white light bubble, and again, it could be a bubble like round, or it can be an egg like your auric shape. Your aura is like an egg. Or it can be a pyramid. Oftentimes, I don't know why, but I feel like the pyramid works for me. I picture it. A pyramid over my home, a pyramid over myself, my car when I'm traveling. You can really protect yourself, your vehicle, your travels, your everything, right? Anyway, so white light is like the ultimate protector. So there's not a lot that's going to come through that filter like there was with the pink light. So you're not going to be as sensitive. There's not going to be as much information coming to you. So depending on if that's what you want or not, the white light basically acts like a boundary or a border to everything that is not for your highest good. It would just not come through at all, right? So in some cases, especially when you're like astral traveling, that's the right color to choose, right? But if you're having like a day with family or friends, that's maybe not the color to choose because you still want to be engaged. I would go with pink because you still want to be engaged and with everyone, right? And then the third color is gold. Gold is alchemy. It's transformation magic. This is transmutation when you're transmuting things. So when you choose gold, what comes through that bubble gets evolved, transformed into its highest version of itself. So if what's coming through is like a stranger's thoughts, like you pick up on everything, right? So a stranger's like, maybe they're full of worry, stress, doubt, and they walk by you and you get like a face full of it. If you had a golden bubble going on, what that would come through as the highest level of that. So you would suddenly know that that person is suffering with their thoughts, with stress or whatever, and you would feel it, but you would feel like compassion for them and the desire to want to like send them some healing, maybe some calm energy, some peace energy. So what the gold bubble did was it told you what was happening and how you could assist, but it didn't give you every single thought that person was thinking. It didn't drain you. You didn't feel what they felt, because an empath feels what the other person is feeling. So without that bubble, you would feel, oh, I feel so anxious all of a sudden and I don't know why. I can't catch my breath. That person's having a panic attack. And you just absorb some of that, right? So, any one of the bubbles of light can work in that situation. And it's really about trying them all, seeing what works for you. I really love pink for when I still want to be engaged. So that's great for friends, family, clients, if you work with people, even coworkers, yeah. White light is amazing for ultimate protection, security, boundary, astral travel, going to sleep at night, traveling in a vehicle, driving in a plane, like when you want the ultimate protection and safety in all ways, physically, energetically, you want to be safe. And then the golden is transformation, transmutation energy. So that would also work for if you had clients and you were trying to do some healing with them. Counseling is perfect. I actually use gold a lot. I really like the feeling of it personally because I always love to be in service. So when I'm picking up on things, I just need to know what the base is of the situation and then how I can help, if that makes sense. So that's gold. So it's like for people that are in service to the light and love and here as volunteers making a difference, they would use gold a lot. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was there's one other situation where you're still going to use pink, white, or gold, but you're going to add a layer on top of either, it doesn't matter what color, when this happens. If you are in an interaction with someone who is being aggressive towards you or dumping on you, venting on you, so say you're with a family member and they're being really negative and they're just complaining, and you start to feel drained and you start to feel overwhelmed, like an energetic vampire situation or a frenemy, someone that is acting one way but they're being fake and you can actually feel their icky intention underneath, or jealousy. Anytime someone is you're in a personal interaction, whether that's in person or online or whatever, and they're directing something at you and it becomes personal, okay? What you want to do is put over top of the color that you've chosen a reflective, almost metallic layer. So if you had pink going, then you would turn it into pink chrome. And the way that you could do that is by visualizing it as, I don't know if you'll be able to see this in the camera, but this jar has like an opalescent vibe. I'm not sure if that's going to come through, but you know what I mean when something is opalescent? The color, it changes like a rainbow, like a chrome, or like a prism effect. So not a mirror exactly, more of a reflective metallic layer. And you've turned that into pink chrome or white chrome or gold chrome, or just gold, the metal would work. Put that layer over top. Visualize that. And if you're not great at visualizing, that is okay, because your intention is really what does it. So you can just say in your mind, okay, reflective layer coming down, like activate reflective layer, reflective coating. And what that's going to do is reflect back to the other person what they're sending to you. A lot of the times people are not self-aware enough to realize what they're doing. And if you just put this up, it's enough. They kind of get a face full of their own attitude or energy, and that can be enough to just change things, right? But what it does is it stops you from absorbing it, and it also shows it to the other person, the reflective layer. So I did this recently in a conversation where it was just someone just being really negative, like over and over and over complaining, and I started to feel like, oh my God, like, oh, how long is this going to go on for? So I put that reflective coating on to my bubble, and within like 2 minutes, maybe not even, of me doing that and holding it in place, still making eye contact with them, but in my side peripheral, in my mind's eye, I know the reflective coating is there. I trust it. Believe it. That's all it is. Believe in it. You had the intention. It's there. Know it. Know it through and through. And within less than 2 minutes, all of a sudden I saw their face start to, it's like they were literally getting it back. Like it's being pushed back into their own space. And they're kind of like, oh. And then they stop for a second. They're like, wow, like, yeah, sorry, no, I didn't mean to be so negative or vent on you. Anyway, but you know what the good part of that situation is? Actually, it's this and this and this. Complete switch in the conversation tone. And if somebody was being like condescending towards you, this would work. Or like backhanded compliments, making you feel small, or just being like openly aggressive or insulting, anything. Get the reflective layer. And like, it doesn't have to, that instance that I shared with you, that was in person, but it doesn't have to be in person, because people feel your energy even when you're texting, even when you're online. If you do that, it's still, it's a part of you. Your words, your communication, your conversation still leaves from here and goes out. So it's taking that with it, those colors, that protection, that reflection. So try that the next time you're feeling overwhelmed or personally attacked in any way. So this is for overwhelm and for protection. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was when you're feeling drained. So as an empath, we can feel really drained. We don't notice as much when we're out and about. It's like when you get home, you're like, oh my God, why am I so exhausted? Why am I so tired? Now, if you're doing the bubbles, you won't be as much. You still might feel it a little though, because it is a lot for us to go out into the world as an empath. This world is insane, right? So for that drained feeling when you're at home, or, I mean, you could be at work too, halfway through the day, you're suddenly just so drained, you could do this as well. What you want to do for being drained is form a connection. So you need to refuel. Where do we refuel from? Source, right? Now you can also do this with an angelic presence or a guide. I prefer to go right to source. I know that's the source. I mean, right? That's what it's called. It's the source of our energy. It's who we are. And like, it's like plugging your phone back into the plug, right? To the power source. You plug yourself back in you're recharging yourself just like a battery. Now, with connection, a lot of the times you can just do an energetic connection and be recharged, but a lot of the times we are using telepathy. I generally am talking to Source or God, or I like to call Source Baba. So I'm usually talking to Baba when I'm connecting. I'm not saying anything. That's telepathy, right? And you can connect with your guides and use telepathy as well. So it's generally, you can just do an energetic connection, but a lot of the time it becomes emotional and we're talking or praying, whatever word you like. So in order to do this effectively and to recharge when you're feeling drained, anywhere, at home, at work, anywhere, what you want to do is make sure that you have a clear and quiet mind and heart. That's the first and most important thing. The quickest way to get that is to pray for it, to ask for it. Often I will ask either Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael, or both, to do that for me, or one of my guides. I have an Andromedan guide who's really a really amazing energy worker. All of our guides have different skills, right? So she's like a really powerful energy manipulator and worker. She moves things through. She's amazing. So I'll ask her too. So anyway, it doesn't matter who, but you can just literally say, please clear my mind and my heart of any energy or anything at all that isn't for my highest good, and allow me to form this connection with you, or to form this connection with my source, my creator. So just ask for the clearing and it will be done. That is all you have to do. You don't have to do everything alone. You don't have to do everything yourself. You shouldn't. Please don't try to. You're not meant to go it alone all the time. Our angels and our guides and the source, they're there for us for a reason. They are there to support us. Please start using them. You can, of course, you can clear and quiet your own mind and heart. Of course, you can just bring some light through. But it's really fast to just pray for it too, right? So up to you how you want to do that. But that's the first step, is to have a clear and quiet mind and heart. The next thing that's really helpful, if you're at home, this would be easy. If you're at work, maybe you'd have to do it at your desk, but to stretch a little bit. That will clear your mind and heart really quickly. It'll clear your body. So if you can do a couple of desk stretches, if you can stand and kind of like bend and touch your toes a little bit, move your spine, move your back around, your neck, your arms, your legs, just even quickly. You'd be amazed at what a super quick stretch can do. Energy gets trapped in our bodies, a quick stretch, and it dissipates. And that leaves your entire system lighter, right? Because energy carries density, especially if it's stress or anything like that. So if you can lighten up lighten everything that doesn't need to be in there. So any kind of stuck energy, any kind of mental racing thoughts, we're clearing and we're quieting to reconnect. So that's the most effective way to do that. Now, one other thing I wanted to say that has to do with like heaviness or energy and the clearing part is that it's also very effective for you not to be on any substances or under the influence of anything in this case. So you would want to be like sober. You wouldn't want to be, with having alcohol in your system. It's not that you can't do it if you've had a drink. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the optimal results would be if you didn't have any alcohol or drugs in your system, if you weren't super sleepy, if you're really super sleepy and you're at home, maybe take a nap and then try this if you have the opportunity. If not, it's okay to be sleepy. And then also, if you're really full, like you just had a huge meal, that's going to add to that density energy. It's going to be dense, heavy. So it might be a little bit more difficult then as well. And you also might feel really sleepy. So, in the most ideal circumstances, you would not be super full. You would be sober. You wouldn't be too tired. And you would be asking for help to clear your mind and heart and quiet your mind and heart to allow this connection. So, and this is something that I actually do for readings. I ask the angels to clear and quiet my mind and heart of my own stuff, like take my own stuff away. I need to be a channel for this client now. And then when I'm done, you can give me back my own stuff. But for that time, I need to remove it. So it's kind of like that, right? You remove your own racing thoughts, your own mental activity, your own stress or extra emotions or whatever. You kind of just put it over here for a sec. Recharge, refuel, connect, whatever you need to do. And then when it comes back, you can handle it or deal with it then. Or you can always ask the angels, if it's not for your highest good, to just take it away, transmute it for you. Now, speaking of telepathy, in this same connection theme, so to connect to Source or God, all you have to do is ask for the connection or just visualize the connection. And of course, we all know that's the white light coming down through the crown and going all the way down through your body. You can even continue it down into the earth, into the core of Gaia. So it's literally just the white light, which is source energy. Sometimes it looks like a gold color, which is fine too. You bring that down through the crown all the way down. That's your recharge. That's the plugging in, okay? You're filling yourself up with white light. That's how you charge your body, your soul, your consciousness, recharge, refuel, and not feel so drained, okay? So it's just the white light. But with the telepathy part, if you want to include telepathy and you want to talk to God or your guides or whatever, then all of those other tips are really helpful. To not be under any influence, not to have a really full belly, to try the stretching. And then the last one, to try talking out loud to get the flow going. So if it's not in flow right away, just speak out loud for the first little bit, just to get it going, right? Like, yes, telepathy happens in the mind's ear, and no, you don't need to speak out loud for them to hear you. They're very proficient at telepathy. But sometimes that helps us to get into the flow. So I'll do that for sure all the time. I will start my prayers out loud, and then they usually end in silence or switch over at some point to the silent telepathy. Or sometimes it's parts of conversations that I say out loud, which would be so funny if anybody was watching, because they can't hear the other side of the conversation. They could just hear me, and I'd be like laughing at something someone said and be like, oh, I know, tell me about it. Like, I don't know, it would be so funny. So if you're getting a little bit hung up on hearing or getting that telepathy flowing, just try doing an out loud conversation in the beginning until it gets flowing. And like I said, I will still even do that just for the first little bit to get it flowing. And then once it gets going, you're good to go. Okay, so here's the fun part of the video. Not that that isn't fun, but I mean, it's spiritual maintenance. It's not always a blast. Important though. So here's the fun part. Let's talk about so we talked about that's receiving mode, okay? Empaths are always in receiving mode, receiving, overwhelmed, drained, all those things. How can you flip that into sender mode? And what does that do for you? Like, what can you create with that? So this is something that I figured out as a child, and I kind of assumed that this was something that everyone did, to be honest. I thought it was like just well known. I don't know. Why wouldn't it be, right? Because I don't know. I don't even know where. I don't know where it came from. I just started doing it. I'll explain what I did as a kid. But first, let's explain how it's done. Okay, sending a part of your energy outwards into the environment around you. And I visualize it like a tube, like maybe this big around or of energy, and it just starts heading in whatever direction I want to go or check on or see. So sending a piece of energy, it's like, okay, it's sending a piece of yourself out though. It's not detached from you, it's still attached. So ultimately you're sending your consciousness, a piece of your consciousness and your self-awareness out to check what's out there, to look for something, whatever it is that you're going to use it for. And we'll talk about that in one sec. But it's like sending a piece of yourself. So I visualize it coming from the heart chakra. That's our strongest. This is where we send from. That's where we create from. Our whole lives get projected outwards from the heart. So this is what I use because it's like if you're already used to that, this chakra. So I send it out. It's like a piece of myself. It's like a piece of my awareness or my consciousness. And I can send it anywhere I want to check out like the state of a room, a person, whatever. So here's a for instance. So if you were in a place, home, any environment, it could be outside, inside, doesn't matter, and you were wondering what kind of energies were around you, like, is there spirit present here? Are there guides here? Earthbound spirits? Is there a bad vibe, a good vibe? Maybe at a party and you want to know like what, anything, okay? You would send it out from yourself. And if I was doing a big area like a room, not looking for anything specific, just want to check the vibe, then I would actually like spread this tube of energy out like a fan and do a sweep. So I'm sending it out from myself and I feel it leave. And then I kind of spread it out like a fan and I sweep the whole room. And I'm tasting the energy. It's like a tongue, actually. You're like tasting the energy of the room. So in order to be able to send a part of yourself out, you need to know what you feel like. You are not the body. You are the soul animating the body. What does the soul feel like? So I did this on one of my Galactic Guidance lives recently, and it helped people to feel it. So close your eyes for a second. I want you to feel what your soul energy feels like. It's very different than like your physical self, okay? So close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. I want you to focus on your lips. Can you feel a light buzzing sensation in your lips? Can you feel the energy buzzing like a light vibration in your lips, right? You can feel that, can't you? That's your frequency. You know how I said we're all vibrating energy at a certain frequency. What frequency are you at? What did it feel like? Right? That's you. I keep pointing to my mouth. That's you. You're a buzzing energy activating a human doll that would not be animated without you. You're the batteries in a doll, literally. But you're self-aware and able to send. You're made of life force, right? You're feeling life force. Life force has a gentle hum. That's like what Gaia's energy feels like. Whenever I tune into Gaia, she has like a gentle thrum, like hum. Like that was almost a little higher vibrational what I had. It was like like a little buzz on my lips. Can you feel it in your fingertips? Can you feel it in all 10 fingertips at the same time? Can you feel it in all 10 fingertips at the same time plus your lips? That's you. That's who you really are. Isn't that amazing? So that is what you're taking a piece of, sending it outwards, and here's what you can do with it. You can fan a room to get the general feel of the vibe. And you can also, when you're doing that, at the beginning you're going to want to close your eyes and visualize it, and really even place a hand over the heart as you're doing it, or near the heart, and really tune in. And if anything jumps, you've got a spirit, right? So as you're scanning, it's like a scan, an energy scan. Scan that room, and if you feel any little hot spots, cold spots, a little zing, there's something there. Now, what it is, you would have to practice this to figure out what different things feel like, but you're already sensing other energies. Now, you put it out, and then you pull it back. When it comes back, it kind of snaps back like an elastic band. It's pretty quick. So you need to be prepared, and here's why. The information that was gathered, when it comes back in like that elastic band snapping, you're going to get a first impression, but it's not going to last very long. It depends on how you work, but a lot of the times it's like a flash, a visual in my mind, like a vision of the spirit, if it's a ghost, right? Or the guide, maybe their eyes, maybe their face. If you're not like a visual person, you might hear something. If you're just really a strong empath, which is clairsentience, that's your psychic gift as an empath. That's what you're doing, you're feeling. Clairsentience means clear feeling. If you're just a really strong empath and you felt a little zing something, and keep doing it in different rooms, just practice this, and it snaps back, and you might just have a knowingness, right? Like you might just know, oh, there's something over there, there's someone over there, there's some low vibrational over here. I don't like the feeling of what's behind that cupboard. I do love this feeling. Oh my God, that book is so high vibe. You can get so specific. It's really fun. It's really fun. Now, if you want to get specific and you don't want to do like the fan sweep, you can just send your energy out like a thinner tube. Don't fan it out, just send it out as it is. And you can test a person, right? Now, this isn't going against their free will. Don't try and like get in. Okay, that's not right. It's not good karmically. Just trust me. Just like picture it like tapping someone, poking someone. You don't go beyond the surface. You can just poke someone and read them quickly. That's okay. That's allowed, right? So if I knew of a spirit or a guide or a physical person or a pet, how fun would this be with a pet? Then I could just face them, send it out like a tube. I don't need to fan it out because I'm not doing some big space, some big area. I'm just going right to them, little poke, and then it will snap back. And my first impression is, how did it feel? Did you see something, hear something, or feel something? Did you feel their bad intentions? Did you feel their jealousy? Did you feel their anger? Did you feel their depression? You felt a taste, you tasted them. You tasted their energy. This sounds so weird. But it's true. So, I mean, gosh, you could just read anything, couldn't you? You could read anything or anyone. And how amazing does it feel to harness your empath energy and turn it around to work for you like a tool? You're a clairsentient when you're an empath. That's a psychic gift. We all have all the clairs. There's not a human on earth that doesn't have them. You do. But as an empath, that's your heightened one. Like we all have some that are stronger than others. You are a clairsentient. You could feel your way. You could feel the energy of this room. You could feel the energy of a person. You could read a room. You could read a person. You could find a spirit. You could see if a book or a card deck was high vibe, low vibe, food, anything. It's limitless. I can't even think of like, oh my God, there are so many ways that you could use this. Could you put in the comments down below how you could use this? Because for some reason I'm blanking on all the ways that this would be helpful. I just know that it is. And I know that it's something that I do. And I've just never talked about it before because I thought everyone did it. And I guess they don't. I said earlier that I did this as a kid. So let me explain to you how I did it as a kid. Okay, so I lived in like a really haunted house. Not a lot of spirits, one spirit. But it was just a really powerful spirit. It was very lucid, very active, very aware of itself. It wasn't like one that's caught in a loop and just doing the same things over and over. It was like interactive. I swear. It was like a real person. I mean, they are real people, but it was like actively taking a part in our daily lives of the family. It was intense. It was too much. So it scared me a lot as a kid, right? And I knew that it was there. I had lots of experiences of proof that it was there. I knew that it was a male, a younger, almost like a young teen. Yeah. Like 15 maybe. I don't know. That died there. Now, okay, I really should do a video on this haunted house because there's so many things that happen in that house. I keep saying when I do it and I don't know why, I just haven't done it. But anyway, this house was a former doctor's office, and back then, it's like a very old house, like over 100 years old. Back then in doctor's offices they had morning rooms where people would mourn the dead. So they would have, they would prep like if someone died, they would have a mourning room. The family would come and see. So it was like part funeral parlor, part doctor's office. I don't know. But there was a specific part of the house that kept the dead for the people to come visit them and mourn them. And then the graveyard was just, the whole backyard was a really steep hill, and then the house was here, and then this big hill going up. The graveyard was over the hill, just on the other side of the hill. So, I mean, obviously, it was super haunted. So thanks, Mom, for choosing that place. She didn't know. It was a beautiful, we had beautiful gardens. That's all I'll say about that. There wasn't a lot else that was great about it. But anyway, back to the story. I knew that this spirit was always there. I didn't know how to clear it. I don't even really know if I thought of even trying that. But I knew that it was there, and I knew how to look for it. So I would be in my bedroom as a kid. I was sitting on my bed, and I wanted to know where it was in the house. So this is the first time I tried this. And I remember like sitting on my bed, and I was looking around my room, and almost like, even just by looking, I'm sending part of myself. Is it there? Is it there? Is it there? Because I'm such a powerful empath. You all are. Starseeds are so empathic. And I was like, okay, well, I don't think it's here in the room, but I want to know where it is. What room is it in the house? Where is it right now? And I had this necklace that I believed protected me. It was a little key. And I thought that I believed I had to take that off and set it aside to do what I needed to do, to look for it, to send my energy out. I took off the necklace, set it aside, and then went searching for it. I didn't know about energy bubbles and protection. I didn't know how to do that yet. So I took my little key necklace off, set it aside, closed my eyes, and I sent my energy down the hall, down the stairs, into each room, just eyes closed, looking for it. And then I felt its energy coming up, and I almost gave it like a little poke, like a little, yep, that's it. Like just checking, is that it? Yeah, that's it. I know that energy. I felt that many times. There he is. And as soon as I like found it and gave it a little poke, the elastic band of my energy snapped right back to me. But the poke was enough to alert that spirit that I was doing that, like looking for it. So I poked him, and he felt it, and he instantly came to my room. So that really defeated the purpose of what I was trying to do. I didn't want to connect with it. So, I mean, there's another use if you were wanting to connect with a spirit. Yeah, wow, look at how many uses this has. I never even thought of that until right now. That's a great way to connect. Go be careful. Now, okay, if I had the bubble of protection though as a kid, or maybe hadn't have taken the necklace off, because I believe that necklace protected me, it did protect me, because my belief made it so. So if I had just left the necklace on, or if I had have known about energetic bubbles, then it coming back, I mean, I would have been protected from that. It still probably would have felt it though. You're not going to disguise the poke. Like if you're going to do this, they're going to feel it. So just know that. But it would be a cool way to start a conversation with spirit or a guide or an angel or a person. Now, if you're wanting to do this with somebody like long distance and you're wanting to like check on them, see how they feel, check their intentions or whatever, just realize that they might know. They might, you poke them and they suddenly start to think of you. Be like, what? Why am I thinking of that? They might know, right? Depending on how intuitive they are, that you just like tried to read them or give them a little energetic poke. Now, I truly don't believe there's anything wrong with this. We are not going past the person's boundaries. It's no different than if you were to place your hand on someone and see what it felt like, right? You're not trying to get into their mind, their heart, read their thoughts, check out their past lives. Don't do any of that. Keep your karma clean, but you are safe to sweep a room, see if there are spirits, see where they are, see if where they're vibing at, high, medium, low, good intentions, bad intentions, safe, not safe. Do I need to clear this? Am I good? So there you go. So something for you to practice and try. I think it would be really fun with a pet. you know? Maybe like if you did this with a pet, you would feel what they were feeling. You would, maybe the telepathy would be even, because you can have telepathy with a pet, right? Maybe that would be even stronger. So, and then before you do this sending energy out thing, if you do like we did in the connection part of the middle section of this video, if you make sure that you have a clear and quiet mind and heart, it'll be even more powerful, because it is like a connection too, right? So do that little prayer and ask for the clear and quiet mind and heart, and then do this sweep or poke. Probably shouldn't call it an energetic poke. That really sounds gross, but you know what I mean. Your tap, it's like a little tap. Hello, a little tap on the window or a tap on the shoulder, right? So anyway, what other ways do you think that this might be effective? I mean, you obviously you can read your environment, you can look for spirit, locate them, read someone's energy, alert like I did as a kid. Oh, hi, I'm thinking of you, and then have them come and face you. Be careful, right? Obviously, always be careful. Protect yourself. Use the bubbles, guys. It's so important. People think they don't work, so they don't do them. I know that they work. Especially that reflective coding. Man, that works fast. So fast. So anyway, let me know in the comments below how you're going to use this little trick. Maybe we should name it something. All I was thinking is that it's like taking your ability to receive so much and flipping it around and turning it into sending. You're in sender mode, but I don't know. It's just like an energetic reading, I guess, right? So let me know if you do try it. Definitely let me know your experiences. And I'll bet a bunch of you are already doing some version of this already. Maybe even as a kid like me. When you're a super empathic kid, you're naturally like reading rooms and people and spirit and all of that. So anyway, I knew that you guys would find this really interesting. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you have any video requests. I'm always open to your requests for video ideas. This video idea came about naturally when I actually did what I was talking about, like did my energy send out, and thought, have I ever talked about this before? And I was like, I haven't. Oh man, like I've been doing this since I was a kid. Do people know? And then I've talked about it a couple of times now on one of the Galactic Guidance lives that I do, the live on Instagram. It's every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can get all your questions answered. We talk about a bunch of stuff. It's so fun. And then I realized that nobody, at least in that, on that call, like nobody really knew what it was or had tried it. I don't know that anybody's doing this, so let me know what you think. And also remember to like this video, share this video for other empaths. They need this info. Oh my God, so many parts of this video they need. And then subscribe for new videos every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday here on Starseed Academy. And if you want to work with me on so many levels, there are so many services. And they just keep expanding. My new favorite, I always have a new favorite. My favorite lately though has been the breakthrough session. I love doing those sessions. But there's lots. Check out the healing services. There's counseling, there's the breakthroughs, and there's readings. Check out the links in the description box and reach out and we can work together. And of course, before you go, please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. Thank you so much, beautiful souls. Have such a good day. Bye.